Ranger fans turning out on what is not a beautiful night for baseball. It's somewhat incredibly only 70 degrees here in Arlington in mid-September. But there's a light rain that's falling pretty much all around the Metroplex right now. It's kind of dimmed to a mist as the Rangers take the field here, getting set to take on the Oakland A's, and the Rangers desperate now to get themselves out of some doldrums that have engulfed this ballpark. The Rangers have gone 1-4 on this homestand, and that has got to turn around. It's got to turn around quick because the Angels come in next. Kennedy, Davis, and Sweeney atop the Oakland batting order. The A's have already been eliminated from playoff contention before they're making the Rangers' lives miserable. Hairston, Powell, and Ellis, the middle third of the lineup. Barton, Pennington, and Patterson against the tall right-hander Dustin Nippert, who is 5-2 for the year. We'll scout him out for you right now.
He's 5-2 on the year, good ERA, a hit per inning, good strikeouts per inning, 45 strikeouts in 57 innings. Pitched really well at home, really well, 4-0, 266 in 7 games here. Runners in scoring position, he bears down, 200 batting average, much better than with the bases empty. Well, everything about Dustin's performance this year has been solid. It was a year where he's had a little bit of time on the disabled list, but it's also been a year where I think in a lot of people's minds he's established himself as a big league pitcher.
Behind them tonight, as we check the Ranger defense, Murphy, Bird, and Cruz. Still no Josh Hamilton. It is now a sore glute that is keeping him out. We've heard that glute thing before. That was
Kevin Millwood.
A Kevin Millwood situation. Taylor Teagarden working with Dustin Nippert tonight. Michael Young hoping to be back by Friday. Josh Hamilton is just a total TBA right now. And initially, he was very hopeful he could be playing sometime in this series. Then that kind of rolled to the Angels series, and now it's just a complete question mark. As for Hambo, Michael Young says he will somehow be ready to go this weekend. Underway with strike one, according to Kerwin Danley. Light wind blowing and a light rain falling at the ballpark tonight. Rangers have set their rotation for that huge series against the Halos coming up. Tommy Hunter, Scott Feldman, Derek Holland in that order. They will push Kevin Millwood out of the Angels series and into the next series against the A's on Monday. Tag, we're in a stretch where the Rangers play 7 out of 10 games against this Oakland team. We're going to get to know them intimately over the next week and a half. And I guess the initial thought there was good. You got the Oakland A's on the roster 7 times in 10 days, but the way they're swinging the bats right now, not so good for the Rangers. Nippert strikes out Adam Kennedy to begin the ballgame.
Yeah, the A's are a better team right now than they were earlier in the season. In their last 70 games, they've gone 35-35. They're swinging the bats better right now. Good location with that fastball. Kind of tied Kennedy up. He was underneath that pitch. So it really doesn't matter what a team's record is. You still have to go out and play good baseball. You still have to go out and beat them.
Davis, as we've talked about, is the guy who's been the toughest to retire so far in this series. A series in which the Rangers have been outscored 15-1. And last night was just miserable pretty much at every turn. They were hitless with runners in scoring position. They made 3 errors in the game last night. And Brandon McCarthy lasted only 3 1/3. A long night out of the bullpen yesterday, but the good news there, I guess, Tag, is that you got a lot of guys in that bullpen.
Yeah, you're never going to be lacking in September for pitchers, that's for sure. You may have to pitch a couple of them that normally you wouldn't want to pitch, but you've got plenty of arms out there.
There's an arm that is hit by Dustin Nippert, that of Rajay Davis. Now that he is on, definitely a threat to run. Davis was on base 5 times in the game yesterday. He gets on the hard way here to begin the game tonight.
I think the one thing that happens in September with all the pitchers is when you have a game, for instance, like last night's game, where it's a little bit out of control, only a couple innings to go. You don't have to use any of your key pitchers during the season to get through a game. You might have to use someone like Darren O'Day or CJ late in a game that you're behind by 5 or 6 runs. In September, you don't have to do that. You can save your key guys for when you've got a small lead late in a ball game, and they don't get tired.
There goes Davis. Taylor Teagarden pegs it. Not in time. Davis stole a base in the first inning yesterday. He's done it again tonight. Most steals by an Oakland player not named Ricky Henderson since Carney Lansford back in 1989. That's Rajay Davis.
We talked about Rajay Davis in the pregame show. He's a kid that has never had a chance to play every day. The A's have given him that chance, and he's playing some good baseball, hitting him around 350 since the All-Star break, almost 200 at bats. And he can run, he can play defense. When he gets on base, he can make things happen.
Nippert wants to get it together with Teagarden now that Davis has taken the lead off second. Davis, a one-time 38th round pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And a guy that has been bumped around from the Pirates to the Giants and going across the bay from the Giants to the A's last year. And you're right, Tom, you give a guy like this an extended opportunity to play. Sometimes that's all he needs.
If you can show that you can hit and you can run like he does, there's going to be a place for you in the big leagues. Speed is something that's probably valued more today than ever before. More and more teams looking for speed and defense. And if then you can add someone that's hitting 350 and 200 bats since the All-Star break, it's a pretty nice guy to have. I'm sure he's definitely played himself into the picture for next year as more than a fourth outfielder.
The A's are in a position where they can start to think about next year right now. We mentioned they're already eliminated from the postseason. The Rangers don't want to hear 2010 on September 16th, 2009. They are 5.5 out in the wild card, 6 back in the West. Jammed him. Sweeney pops it back towards Teagarden, who's out of room. Now the two teams that the Rangers are chasing in two separate pursuits right now. You got the Red Sox as the wild card, the Angels in the West. They are playing against each other again tonight. And I guess because the Rangers will match up head-to-head with the Angels 7 more times, I suppose if you had to root for one over the other right now, you almost root for Boston, so that the Rangers and Angels can be as close to each other when the Rangers have their shot. Tonight, the Angels lead at Boston 1-0 in the 4th. But somebody, either Boston or the Angels, somebody's going to have to start losing some games. Both those teams have won 8 out of 11. If the Rangers can go on an 8 out of 11, and if one of those teams somehow can drop 8 of 11,
it's got a nice last week of the season.
There's your math. That's what you need. Of course, the Rangers just control what they do. And that's the most frustrating part, I would think, Tag. I mean, even if the Rangers do steer out of this, and they will, at some point you do now put yourself in a position where you need help from somebody else.
Well, the Rangers have put themselves in that position because of the last 5 days at home. You know, it's hard to look at Anaheim, it's hard to look at Boston. You have to look at yourself. And the Rangers have come home after a great series in Cleveland, and they've lost 4 out of 5. And that has made the margin of error, which wasn't great to begin with, much less now. And so all you can do is go out every night and win.
Some pretty crazy peaks and valleys. The Rangers last week had a 3-game stretch in Cleveland where they scored 31 runs in 3 games. Now they're home, and they've got 1 run in 3 games. Off the plate, and a never-ending at-bat here with Ryan Sweeney.
Sweeney's getting a chance to bat third in the lineup on the trip that the A's are on. This is his 6th game. batting third, and he's done pretty well. 11 for 24. That's a .458 average since he's gotten an opportunity to hit third. It's been a spot that's been a weak spot in the order for the A's.
Andrews soaks it up. Nice play. Yeah, the A's number 3 hitters are now with that ground out hitting .221. That's supposed to be your best overall hitter, right? That number 3 spot.
Yeah, whoever's been hitting third just hasn't been hitting. And maybe Sweeney will be their guy. Looks like he's going to get a chance to do it the last couple of weeks of the season. Still a young hitter.
We were told you got to go back to the 1976 Montreal Expos to find a team that had a lower batting average from the number 3 spot.
How about the 72 Rangers? We used to call ourselves the Rock Pile Rangers.
Who was the usual number 3 in that order?
I have no idea.
Not you, it sounds like.
It wasn't me. I only had about 125 at bats that year.
So don't blame Tag.
Don't blame me. I chipped in my 198 batting average or whatever it was.
Well, the team hit .217 for a manager that went to the Hall of Fame hitting .344.
Think he had a good time that year?
He was probably miserable. Talking about Ted Williams, of course, and that first Ranger unit went 54 and 100. But you guys wiped out down the stretch to hit that 100, right?
Probably did.
According to what I'm looking at right here, Tag, you guys had a 3-23 September.
Wow.
But again, you were on the bench, so I'm not pointing fingers.
Yeah, which doesn't say much. If the guys playing ahead of you go 3-23 and you can't get in the lineup, that's not exactly a consolation prize.
I ought to just stop talking.
Yeah. I've already told you how the 1970 Senators ended. 14 straight losses.
To right field from Hairston, through the rain, past Nelly Cruz. And as it bounces out of play, it is 1-0 Oakland. Well, apparently the wind will carry a baseball to right tonight.
That ball definitely fooled Nelly. I think when that ball went up in the air, he thought he had a pretty good chance to catch it. And I'm sure when Hairston hit it, he thought he was out. But the ball fooled Nelly and just kept going all the way to the warning track. Fooled me, too. I didn't think it was going to go that far the way he hit it. And Nelly's kind of going sideways before he starts to go back.
Landon Powell takes a strike. Now, there was a 27-pitch top of the first inning yesterday from another tall right-hander, Brandon McCarthy. Already 22 pitches in his first inning from Nippert. Just for the heck of it, Tom, I just went online and found from this date in 1972, the Rangers were actually playing against these Oakland A's in '72. Ted Ford was hitting third.
Wow. Ted Ford had 14 home runs that year. Probably hit about, I don't know what he hit, 230 maybe? But 14 home runs on our team. That was number 1 on the team.
Also led the team in doubles with 19. You guys lost to Campy Campaneris and Joe Rudy and those guys.
Back then, a lot of people were losing to them.
Vida Blue with a 2-hitter on this date in '72. And you're right, you were not in that game. You were riding the pine. Apparently down and maybe in. Boyce is reminding you a lot of the first inning yesterday. A little bit of sloppiness to begin things in a long inning.
A little bit inside.
Dustin Nippert strikes him out. The A's are held to 1. Now the Rangers getting ready to face Trevor Cahill when we come back. And tonight, they're now outscoring the Rangers 16-1 in this three-game series. The Rangers will try to dent the scoreboard right now with Bourbon, Andrus, and Murphy at the top of the lineup, brought to you by Southwest. David Murphy has not been sagging offensively at all. You've got Bird and Kinsler. They have been, though. The two of them, one for their last 28 combined. Trying to kick it into gear tonight. Cruz, Davis, Teagarden, and Vizquel the rest of the way. And we'll tell you about Trevor Cahill, the young right-hander for Oakland. Comes in with an 8-12 record. Not really known as a strikeout guy. Only 81 of those.
And one of two 21-year-old starters along with Brett Anderson. He's 8-12 on the season. ERA doesn't look that great. He's had 29 starts. He's given up a lot of home runs. But in his last 6 starts, he's pitched really well. He's only given up 1 home run in his last 6 starts. And opponents have only hit .244 against him. His first 15 starts, his ERA was .368. It was the middle 9 starts that really hurt him. He gave up 14 home runs in those 9 starts, and his ERA was over 8. And you talk to the A's people, and they'll say he kind of lost his arm slot, which affected his sinker. When he's throwing from the correct arm spot, he gets great movement on his fastball. It sinks, he'll get a lot of ground balls, and he's found it now in his last 6 starts, and that's what he's been getting, a lot of ground balls.
Got one of those from Julio Bourbon to start the Rangers night tonight. Patterson, Davis, and Sweeney in the outfield. Kennedy, Pennington, Ellison, Barton in the infield. And Kurt Suzuki gets the night off tonight. It is Landon Powell from Josh Hamilton's hometown of Apex, North Carolina instead. Nippert not disappointed, I'm sure, to not have to deal with Suzuki tonight. Suzuki 4 of 6 against Nippert this year. Ron Washington shared with the media that Suzuki got his vote for Gold Glove this year, too. You can't vote for guys on your own team. And Wash has gotten to see Suzuki quite a bit this year. Rangers and A's have played 14 times against each other. Suzuki has caught 12 of those 14 games. And Wash is left with a very positive impression of Suzuki.
That's the sinker that has been working so well for him in the last 6 starts. When the season's over, the A's will have both Cahill and Brett Anderson around 175 innings. Both of them are only 21 years old. Neither one of them has any kind of extensive experience in the minor leagues. Anderson only had about 240 innings of minor league time. In fact, last year, a lot of his minor league time was in A ball. Just part of it was in Double A. Here he is right straight in the big leagues.
Elvis called out by Kerwin Danley. Andrews had the 16-game hitting streak stopped last night, though he did walk twice. Thought this one was outside. Let's see.
Top of the strike zone, snuck in the rectangle. Turned out to be a good pitch.
Murphy has prevented the Rangers from being shut out in back-to-back-to-back games. That home run that he hit last night. The Rangers have never in their history, even that 1972 team we were talking about, they've never had 3 straight games with no runs. But boy, it's been perilously close to that on this homestand. 1 run in the last 29 innings total now for the Rangers. And the guy on deck, Marlon Byrd, who always seems to be an eager spokesperson. He was brutally honest after the game yesterday. I mean, he said, you guys saw it. We're not doing anything well right now. Hitting, pitching, defense needs to get better. A little jumping a catch out there by Sweeney. And the Rangers go in order against Cahill. 1-0 A's.
Brooklyn, Josh and Tom Community Corner tonight. We have Lisa Boltinghouse. She is with the Parents Defeating Autism Today, the founder. Tell us a little bit about your organization, Lisa.
Basically what we do is we raise funds to allow families and children to try various options that insurance companies don't cover. So ABA therapy, gluten-free diet, supplements, all those things medical insurance doesn't cover, so we want to help them be able to try it.
A lot
have
of families,
the options.
right? A lot of families are not able to try that. So those who want to help out and get involved, you see the number and also information on the screen. Josh, Tom, look at this little one. What's her name? How old is she?
Peyton.
All right. How old?
8 months today.
8 months today. Already in a Ranger outfit. Looking good, Peyton. Way to go. All right. Thank you very much.
Mark Ellis right down the line, and that is foul. Oh, and a little beverage spill there, too. 8 months today. Happy birthday. I just turned 364 months myself. Rain is diminished. Looks like it's almost stopped completely. That one is high to Ellis, 2-2. I guess one thing we'll remember not so fondly about this homestand tag, not just the disappointing performance on the field, but just this drippy, gloomy, miserable weather.
Yeah, it's a week that most people that have been around Texas for a long time don't remember this time of year.
Little pop-up that Kinsler's going to chase. And he makes that catch. Wouldn't you know it, the best-looking day of the homestand so far shapes up to be tomorrow, and it's an off day. Hopefully the weather gets nice for the weekend. Again, the Angels coming in. Fans are encouraged to wear their red. It's going to be a red-out weekend. The team will be sporting those alternate red jerseys and caps for the whole series. Friday, it's a fantastic fireworks night. Great fireworks show after the game. 1980s rock music is the theme for the fireworks extravaganza. The first 25,000 fans entering the park on Friday get a Rangers rally towel. So that's for me, Tag, the 80s rock music. For you, ceremonial first pitch, Y.E. Yang.
Whoa, pretty nice.
The PGA champion.
Yeah.
There's out number 2 off the bat of Derek Barton. Also, TCU head coach Gary Patterson will be on hand that night. It'll be a Y.E. Yang first pitch, followed by a Gary Patterson first pitch. Saturday night, don't forget, it's now a 6:05 game with a pregame concert with Mercy Me out on the North Lawn. And the Sunday game, to accommodate the Cowboys-Giants NFL tilt down the street, that is now a noon start on Sunday. Pennington fouls it, and in that Sunday game, that's Derek Holland for the Rangers. John Lackey will have an unusual doubleheader. He'll pitch that game here, and then apparently he and his teammates are going to his suite. Yeah, he's a suite holder at that stadium, the new stadium. He's going to go watch that Cowboys-Giants game with his teammates after he pitches.
That is sweet.
Hopefully he'll be drowning in his sorrows. And of course, Lackey, an Abilene native, and still calls Texas home. Big Cowboys fan. So that's, I mean, you got to admit,
that's a great night for John Lackey.
That's pretty cool.
You know, you earn enough money to afford a suite, and then get to take your teammates there while the team's in town. That's a pretty good night right there. I wonder what he paid for that suite.
Over $9 would be my guess. Chris Davis, another native Texan, will take it to the bag. Retiring Pennington, native of Corpus Christi, Texas. They're everywhere. A's 1, Rangers nothing. Here comes Marlon Byrd. 1-0 tonight. The A's over the Rangers, and you can follow the Rangers on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com. At Bat 2009 features play-by-play and video highlights, live audio as well. TexasRangers.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch. Rangers loaded up with Bird, Kinsler, and Cruz. 3 powerful right-handers here in the second inning. Against the guy with that good sinking two-seam fastball, Trevor Cahill. He jams Marlon Bird. Cahill, last time he pitched, went 3 innings. That was against the White Sox. Gave up 3 runs, 5 hits, couple of walks. He's been prone to the home run ball occasionally this year. The Rangers are second in the majors in hitting home runs. Got 213 of them.
Cahill, the last 2 seasons, most of it in A-ball in the minor leagues, has been 22-9 with about a 2.6 ERA. So he's pitched extremely well in the minor leagues. He only gave up 8 home runs in his 240 minor league innings. 26 this year. And again, a lot of those, 14 of them, came in the middle 9 starts of the season for him, when he lost his kind of mechanics, really, which caused his ball to flatten out, stay up in the strike zone, and teams pounded him pretty well to the tune of an 8 ERA. But lately he's been pitching much better. Drop down.
Yes, sir. Good baseball. See, they'll listen to you.
Well, you know, it's true in golf. You have to talk to your golf ball. I got to start doing it in baseball too.
You and Johnny Drama. Now, Marlon Bird needed that. 1 for his last 14. Kinsler 0 for his last 14, and let's see if he can get something to drop.
Well, it's just so hard to see this little bit of a slump coming after the way the guys hit the ball in Cleveland. It just looked like, good, here we go. We're going back home. Everyone's swinging the bats pretty well, and it just hasn't happened that way, which is why you just can't predict the future in baseball.
Inside to Kinsler, who is just a hair short of that 30 home run season. 29 and a team leading 79 runs batted in. Outside corner, says Kerwin Danley. Now, wind still blowing towards right. Of course, you know, if you've watched Ian Kinsler, most of his hitting is done to left. But I think you'd agree with me, Tag, that when Kinsler is really in his element, when he's getting a lot of hits over the course of a week, you're seeing him go to the opposite field, too, to that alley in right center.
Yeah, he did that. Cleveland had several hits to right field in Cleveland. Something he's very capable of doing.
Runner goes. That is ball 4 to Kinsler. 2 on, nobody out. Bob Guerin's team, again, having already been eliminated, but trying to sweep the Rangers in Arlington for the first time since '03. All right, here's where the Rangers need to get better quickly. Runners in scoring position. We've talked about how the last 3 games the Rangers have 1 run scored total. They do not have a hit with a runner in scoring position. They're 0 for 19. A bunt from Nelly Cruz. Plays to third, got it. And trying to move those runners, it doesn't work.
Well, he had a decent idea if he was able to bunt the ball down the third base line. Third baseman was back, And I think Nelly might have had a chance with a real good bunt to get a base hit. In any event, if he gets the ball to the third baseman, he at least would have moved the runners to second and third. As it is, the pitcher has a great chance to make the play, and he does it nicely.
Davis will send one foul. Now Chris has one of his 19 home runs this year against his dude out there on the mound, Mr. Cahill. We talked about Kinsler being close to 30. Here's Davis right on the cusp of 20. Six to 1 was the final yesterday. The Rangers did get one at bat out of Michael Young. So it's nice to see him give it a shot yesterday. And that's pretty much what it was. Just kind of a shot to see if he could, as a DH, hang in there for 3 or 4 at bats just to give the team a bit of a lift. And it just was not to be. Two down in the inning. The Rangers still having a devil of a time with runners in scoring position. Michael Young has been famous for getting it done in that situation in his career, providing our Geico quote. I guess the key sentence there is it's not a setback. Didn't get worse, but he just wasn't ready. Outside to Taylor Teagarden.
Michael knows. I think he probably felt like he wasn't 100%, but he needed to find out for his own peace of mind if he was well enough to go out and play. Hadn't had a leg injury before, so he wasn't sure unless he went out and gave it a try. And he found out what I think he probably felt all along, that the game situation was going to be a little bit different than a simulated game. Unfortunately, he didn't re-injure it or make it worse. He just found out it wasn't quite ready.
In for a strike to Teagarden, 1-2. The A's got a 2-out RBI double from Scott Hairston to knock in a run in the first. Angels now leading 2-0 in Boston, by the way, at the end of 5. They've got Joe Saunders going tonight against Paul Bird. What a story Paul Bird is, coming back for Boston. Rip and a miss, and the Rangers, boy oh boy, 0 for 22 now. 0 for 22 with runners in scoring position the last 4 games. Dustin Nippert trying to keep it close. He's back to work right after this. Brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T is your world delivered. On a 70-degree mid-September evening, the Rangers trying to find their ability to hit again. It's been in short supply the last few days, and the Oakland A's taking advantage. They've won the first 2 games of the series. They had only 1-0 tonight, and Dustin Nippert trying to keep it right there. That's the guy that he's toyed with this year, Eric Patterson, 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts against Nippert. He can claim a moral victory on that. He's kind of twisting it over to Omar Vizquel. Vizquel and Esteban Herman, for the most part, have manned the ship over there at third, with Michael Young out for now a dozen games. Esteban had that 5-hit game in Cleveland when, boy, it just seemed like everything was going right. Rangers with double-digit run totals in 3 straight games at Progressive Field. Ended up 8-1 against the Indians this season. They're only 6-8 against these Oakland A's. A's and Indians have very similar records overall, but it's just been, for whatever reason, a tough matchup this year. Strike to Kennedy on the outside edge. Did it again, 2-2. The Bealsville, Ohio native over by the West Virginia border, Dustin Nippert, getting Kennedy to sock one foul.
Yeah, and in case his grandma Ann is watching tonight, we want to thank her again for the batch of cookies she sent to us in Cleveland. In fact, 2 of them. Big Ranger fan now that Dustin's a Ranger, as is all of Dustin's family.
Wonder if the Diamondbacks announcer's got cookies too, and Dustin.
I don't know. I have to think we're special.
That ball is.
I think Grandma Ann only makes cookies for us.
Marlon Byrd will make that play. We have some big thank yous food-wise tonight, right? With the barbecue, the coin of the realm.
Yep. MR Kids Restaurant, Ida Bell, Oklahoma. Melody and Jackie were here. Nickel. I called them Nickel. It's nickel. With a little bit of everything tonight, boy. Ribs, brisket, sausage, potato salad, a new cucumber salad. You name it.
We were well taken care of tonight. Got nice and fattened up.
People we haven't seen in years came by the booth when they smelled that barbecue.
There's a long-standing baseball maxim: if it's free, it's for me.
Well, this was a double whammy. It was free and it was good.
Davis grounds out, and Dustin Nippert looking real good in that 3rd inning. Kennedy and Davis have been 2 tough outs this whole series. They went down pretty quickly. Omar Vizquel leads it off. We're in the bottom of the third. Again, Michael Young anticipating being back in the lineup Friday, but Omar Vizquel plays third tonight. What a useful and fun player he's been for the Rangers in 2009. We're starting right in spring training. Had that charismatic gait when he first walked in the clubhouse, and he didn't stop making friends the whole way. Left fielder Patterson with that play. Back to the top of the order, and Julio Bourbon. And a reminder, Mercy Me performs on the North Lawn before the game this Saturday. Concert starts at 4, then it's the Rangers and Angels at 6:05, part of Red Out Weekend. Be sure to wear your red, show your support for the Rangers. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or 972 Rangers. Not a lot of tickets left for the Saturday game. Got some availability Friday and Sunday. But we do urge you to act soon to be a part of what is going to be happening here this weekend. Cahill to Bourbon. And the count 2-1. The Rangers' only hit so far, a bloop single from Marlon Byrd last inning. One thing you got to like, Tag, is how Dustin Nippert, after a little bit of a rocky start in that first inning, pitched a very quick, fairly easy second and third.
Yeah, he's 7 up, 7 down since that double, kind of a wind-blown double that fooled Nelly Cruz out in right field. Hairston hit that ball to drive in the only run.
On the ground, second base, Ellis. And 2 down here in the bottom of the third. So on the out-of-town scoreboard, the Angels now 3-0 on the Red Sox. Torrey Hunter has just homered. That game in the 6th inning. The Blue Jays and the Yankees tied 2-2 in the 6th. Did you see that brawl those teams had yesterday?
I saw that. Jorge Posada's a little bit out of line with that deal.
Posada has been suspended 3 games, and so has Toronto pitcher Jesse Carlson for all that. They were cited for, quote, aggressive and inappropriate actions by Bob Watson.
You know, the Yankees had drilled a couple of the Toronto batters, and Carlson threw a ball behind Posada. And if all Posada had done is just let it go, knowing he had one coming. I mean, if that's Michael Young, he would have let it go and done nothing about it, knowing, hey, we hit 2 of their guys. Someone's got one coming. And then Posada gave him that little cheap shot when he went by home plate, which was really weak.
Yankees lost that game, but they're still 93-53. They're 40 games over, but with the Red Sox having won 6 straight, the Yankees have not locked things up in the East quite yet. 5 up in the win column. They're in the loss column right now. Andrews with the bounce out, and now that is 6 straight set down by Cahill. 1-0 at the end of 3. Question on Wednesday, September the 16th. Can you name the two players who got their 3,000th career hit on this date? Both fairly recent, and neither of them in this ballpark tonight. Answer coming up in the bottom of the fourth inning. A light drizzle dropping on the crowd here right now. Dustin Nippert matched up against Trevor Cahill. It's a 1-0 game. Only 2 hits total in this game. Got a wind-blown double from Oakland and a bloop single from the Rangers. In the air, left center field, and David Murphy will run it down. Ryan Sweeney, the first out of the fourth. Scott Hairston comes up next.
Now Dustin's getting his pitch count straightened out pretty well after the second, third, and a quick out here in the fourth. Ran it up there pretty high with some long at bats in the first inning. Credit the A's hitters for fouling a number of balls off and having some long at bats. 24, 25 pitches for Dustin in the first inning. He only faced 5 batters.
Hairston takes the strike. Boy, that is remarkable, that recovery after the first inning.
28 pitches, actually.
Some other scores. The Orioles lead Tampa Bay 2-1 in the 7th. Former Oriole and former Ranger Greg Zahn with the lone run for Tampa Bay with a home run, his 7th. Zahn also the answer to a trivia question. Who's the only catcher to gun down Julio Bourbon in the big leagues trying to steal? Dustin Nippert starting to get it going now. He strikes out Hairston, the guy who had doubled in the first.
With a nice changeup. Dustin has a really nice delivery with this pitch. Looks just like his fastball. Hairston a little bit out in front of it. Good movement with this changeup too. It kind of tipped right at the end underneath his bat.
Landon Powell is the batter. Breaking ball hit weakly towards first, and again Dustin Nippert cruising through it. That is an 8-pitch inning. All right, now the Rangers need to get to hitting. They've got 1 run scored in their last 31 innings. Murphy trying to change that when we come back. That Aflac trivia question. 2 players got their 3,000th career Major League hit on a September the 16th. We reveal them to you now. Dave Winfield and Paul Molitor, both on September the 16th. A couple of Minneapolis St. Paul natives. And there's your graphic proof of what the announcer guy just said. Heard some scouts talk about Michael Young as kind of a new age Paul Molitor, and I think that's a real nice compliment to pay Michael Young. Guy that can play a bunch of different positions, just keep hitting. Great in the clubhouse. Not a yell guy or anything like that, but just solid.
Yeah, I think one difference between Michael and Paul Molitor is Michael is playing strong defense. Molitor had some injuries, and actually last several years of his career spent a lot of time as a DH. Michael adapting to his 3rd new position, playing some great defense at 3rd base. And who knows, maybe at the end of Michael's career, when he's 41 or 42, he'll be doing some DHing himself. Right now, that's way down the road, though.
Marlon Byrd has the Rangers' lone hit so far.
The Rangers haven't exactly hit the ball hard yet off Cahill. Cahill, as we mentioned, in his last 6 starts, 2-1 with a 3.34 ERA. And even though he's given up 26 home runs on the season, that's tied for 4th most home runs in the American League. He's only given up 1 in his last 30+ innings. He's had the sinker working a lot better.
Busted bat. Marlon Byrd is out by a step.
Seen a lot of balls hit off the bad part of the bat tonight, early in the game by the Rangers. Credit to Cahill on that.
Yeah, 8 straight set down by the 22-year-old out of Vista, California. A couple other scores for you here, Tag. The Royals lead the Tigers 3-2 in the 6th inning, and with the Twins already having one today, all of a sudden you're talking about Minnesota maybe 3.5 out in the Central. That's without Justin Morneau.
Yep, they're hanging in there.
No Joe Creedy. High fly ball from Kinsler. After Nippert tosses an 8-pitch top of the 4th, Cahill trumps him with a 7-pitch bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Oakland. Texas Ranger Baseball being brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. By Corona, official sponsor of the timeout. Dustin Nippert, already once this year, has gone 5 innings of one-hit baseball against the Oakland A's. Looking to do it again. He's got 4 innings of one-hit baseball going right now. But so does Trevor Cahill for Oakland. Nippert, who hasn't made a start since September the 1st, 15 days ago. Had a couple of relief outings since then, so he is certainly rested. Ready for this opportunity tonight. More of a challenge than an opportunity, I guess, Tag, the way the A's have been swinging the bats.
They have been doing that. And Dustin's been doing his thing too. Pretty much whatever the Rangers ask him to do. There's been times where a starter went down early. He stepped in and gave him 4 or 5 good relief innings. He's been in the rotation, throwing the ball well. You name it, he's done it. Done really well in 6 relief appearances. His ERA is 2.19. Since the All-Star break, his ERA is 3.44 in a number of different roles.
Davis skids to a stop, leading Nippert. Nice play. Well, his defense continues to be outstanding over there. Derek Barton has had a pretty good month in September. Driving this one to right field. His good month continues as he pounds it off the Snapple sign. Only the second Oakland hit. They've both been doubles now. One by Hairston and now Derek Barton.
And Barton was able to wait on that changeup. Thought for a chance, for a minute, it was going to go right into the Ranger bullpen. Pretty good changeup to hit if you're able to wait on it, which he did.
That ball almost jumped all the way out. Now out of Texas A&M, Cliff Pennington. A breaking ball to start him off. 0-1. I mentioned the Yankees and Blue Jays tied 2-2 tonight. That game's in the 6th inning. White Sox play the Mariners later. Twins have already beaten the Indians 7-3. That is now a 41 save season for Joe Nathan. Michael Kadire backed him with a home run. Nick Blackburn the win. Curveball hit on the ground, and Elvis goes to third with it. There's a surprise waiting for Derek Barton as he slides in. Andrew Staviskel for the out.
Well, generally the rule is if the ball's hit to your left, you can go. If it's hit to your right or right at you, you have to hold. That ball was hit pretty hard right at Elvis. And Barton had no chance to get there. The ball was hit a little bit to his right, actually. That's a ball that when you see that ball hit, you put on the brakes and go back to second. There's going to be an out made on that play anyway. The difference is they lost a base. Now there's no one in scoring position.
Couple of scores from the National League to pass along real quick. The Marlins beat the Cardinals 5-2, and Josh Johnson's kind of the National League Scott Feldman. Under the radar and 15-4 with that win. The Marlins trying to hang in that wild card race. They're back to within 4 of Colorado with that win. Rockies and Giants play tonight, and those are the top 2 contenders for the wild card. Little bloop. Omar Vizquel has got it. Dustin Nippert, a 2-hitter through 5. Nellie Cruz, Chris Davis, Taylor Teagard trying to get something going when we come back. $5 parking courtesy of 105.3 The Fan. See the Rangers and Angels coming up on Friday. Red out weekend, and all fans are encouraged to wear their red, support the Rangers. Nellie Cruz is going to bounce out here to begin the 5th inning in a 1-0 game.
Well, we better stay high to Steve Busby. The inning's going to be over, Josh.
Yeah, I still have the rest of that promo to read. I can't even spit it out here. Before we bring on Steve Busby, here's Nellie Cruz bouncing out right back to the mound. This is a one-hitter for Trevor Cahill. And all right, Steve Busby, I turn to you, a guy that has pitched not one-hitters but no-hitters before. Is this Cahill or is this the Rangers?
Yes. Yeah, Cahill's pretty good. He's throwing the ball pretty well. The Rangers are making him look pretty good tonight, I think, compared to what has been happening lately to him, at least if the numbers are of any significance. But right guy at the right spot. If you're with the A's, the right guy at the wrong spot, the wrong time for the Rangers.
In the meantime, Dustin Nippert had a 5-inning effort against the A's not too long ago. He gave up only 1 hit. 2 hits tonight, looking great.
This may be, I don't know if you agree with it, Tom, this may be as well as I've seen Dustin Nippert from the get-go throw the first 5 innings. I mean, he has really mastered the strike zone with all of his pitches, all 3 of his pitches.
Yeah, and you might at one time this season been able to say, well, it's against the A's and they're not hitting the ball real well. But you can't say that right now. The A's are in the middle of a pretty good hot streak, so cooling them off tonight, it is nice pitching.
Well, you were right to bring on Buzz right away. It's 4 pitches and 2 outs already.
I think these guys have a bus to catch or something, both teams.
Rangers will enjoy that off day tomorrow. And if this kind of thing continues here, Buzz, I mean, do you like having the off day where it is? We just kind of clear your head before the Angels come in.
Yeah, something's got to help. I mean, this is a 4-game stretch now where the Rangers just have not been able to hit anyone. You can, as we talked about last night, I think the night before, even with Tomko, you can understand not having success against Felix Hernandez, but to have it carry over for a ball club that has proven to themselves of late, Cleveland, for example, they can score and score at will. It's almost a complete enigma to us and the ball club.
Boy, Buzz, thanks
nice
for
having you, Buzz.
Thank
Come
you.
again when you can't stay so long.
Nice seeing you guys.
Great to have you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right.
Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah.
It's 1-0 at the end of 5, and Dustin Nippert will be on the mound when we come back. Game on Fox Sports Southwest is being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. We go to the 6th inning already. Only 3 hits in this game. The A's have a couple of doubles. The Rangers have a bloop hit from Marlon Byrd. And as Dustin Nippert will get things going, he finds himself having to deal with Adam Kennedy, a guy that's been a very tough out for the Rangers this year. And as we talk about the Angels about to come to town, Tag, for a while, boy, Adam Kennedy was a staple in their infield.
Sure was.
Not at third base, but at second base. Check the update there, by the way. Boston has come back. It's now 3-3, the Red Sox and the Angels.
He was also part of a nice little brawl before the game ever started out in Anaheim. Remember that with Gerald Laird?
That's right, and also Scott Feldman in a game.
That's right.
I forgot about the one with Laird. That's right. 2-1 the count to Kennedy. Boston, by the way, still having at it with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've got the bases loaded, 1 out. We'll keep you posted. Towards center, down in front of Marlon Byrd. Nothing he could do. The leadoff man on in the 6th. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, thanks. I got 17 state and federal Mexican police on hand for tonight's game. What brings you guys in town?
We're looking for George Lunan.
No, just kidding, Josh. Just kidding right there. What really brings you to town?
We're not training about informatic investigations.
There we go. Your very first trip to the United States, very first baseball game. What do you think?
It's a beautiful stadium. It's beautiful people. We like the hot dogs and we want the Rangers win this game.
So do we. All right, go Rangers. There we go. All right, there we go, Josh. You're in the clear. All right.
Well, welcome, guys. Thanks. Glad that was just shenanigans. Rajai Davis, the hitter. The A's on top 1-0. Getting that run with 2 outs in the first. It was a hit batsman, and it was this guy, Rajai Davis, who got hit. He then stole second, scored on the double by Hairston. Back to the National League for a moment. The Phillies 2-0 over Washington in the 7th. As they're looking to get things secured in the NL East. Got a 6.5 game lead on Florida and 7 on Atlanta. The Braves, after a rain delay, getting it going with the Mets. 0-0 first inning. Astros and Reds playing some home run derby in Cincinnati tonight. 6 home runs through 5 innings in that one. Houston's on top 5-4. And Carlos Lee is hit number 26, part of that home run brigade. Brewers lead the Cubs tonight 6-2 in the 4th inning. The Cubs trying to make a last-ditch push. Runner goes. And a fly ball whacked into center field. Marlon Byrd on his horse. Can't get it. Lunging for it, but it got by him. Kennedy racing to third. Coming around. Here's a relay throw from Elvis Andrus. The tag. No. Teagard never held it. Down to third and not in time. Boy, that had the makings of a tremendous relay. But Teagard couldn't hold the ball. Boy, and Marlon Byrd almost flagged it down to begin with.
I thought he was going to get to it. That was a line shot. Davis really hit that ball hard. Marlon got a pretty good jump on it. Lunged right at the end, but couldn't quite get it.
That took a nasty little short hop right there. Davis scoots to third, and the infield has to come in. There is action in the Ranger bullpen. Darren O'Day. The Rangers have had their issues lately with runners in scoring position. The A's not so much in this series. Trying to capture Ryan Sweeney somehow here. Lifting it and again sending Marlon Byrd on the run. He'll make the catch and do his best to get it in. No way they're going to get Davis, though. The sac fly. And makes the Rangers come back a little tougher now. 3-0 A's. As we mentioned, the A's are doing a nice job of getting their runners around and in. Check your forward leaderboard. They were last in the league before the All-Star break. Been one of the better teams since the break. Hairston with the RBI double back in the first. Started the year with the Padres. That team beat the Diamondbacks in 10 this afternoon, 6-5. And Adrian Gonzalez, boy, he's going to command something as he goes out and probably goes somewhere else next year. He's got 38 home runs now as we update that score for you. 5-3, Boston now. With a 5-run bottom of the 6th, and the Red Sox are still batting. I guess Joe Saunders has actually left that game now. For the most part, the Angels starting pitching has just been phenomenal the last 3 weeks. Nippert guns one by Hairston. Out number 2.
Good fastball. Dustin's had a good fastball today. Most of them in the 91 to 93 mile an hour range.
With 2 out, we bring in Emily Jones.
Guys, just want to remind you where you can find us on the World Wide Web. Facebook.com, it's Fox Sports Southwest, and Twitter.com, FS Southwest. And Josh, I ran into a couple of Arlington police officers on my way up here. They said they were looking for you too.
Well, everybody's a comedian. Thanks, Sam. This ball is gone. Landon Powell up on Greens Hill. But Nippert, who had a 1-hitter through 4, a 2-hitter through 5, but now a single, a double, and a homer in the 6th. We were talking earlier, Tag, about Kurt Suzuki not playing tonight. How maybe that was a break, the way he's hit Nippert and the way he's hit the Rangers in general. But the backup plan is pretty good. Landon Powell with a home run. Lon Washington out to make the pitching change. Darren O'Day will come in. 4-0 A's. And we'll return right after this. Rangers just slipping and sliding right now. We're in a 3-game stretch that has become a 4-game stretch, including this one, where they have been outscored 26-1. That's the kind of stretch they really haven't had all year. It's come at a very inappropriate time. Darren O'Day will take over. Landon Powell having just blasted away, hitting his 7th home run of the year. As we talked about earlier, the Rangers certainly have a lot of good options from that bullpen from which to choose. To the point where it's tough to get guys work.
The number that really stands out for Darren O'Day, 50 strikeouts in 49 innings.
Waived by the Mets, rescued by the Rangers. Darren not missing much with the Mets, an injury-riddled season that they've had. They are 20 games under 500. That's amazing with that payroll.
That's the 3rd team Darren's been with since last year. Angels, Mets, Rangers. And the first thing he said when he got here was he hoped it worked out to where he could stay here for a long time. And based on his performance, has certainly given himself a chance to do that. Been a huge part of the Rangers' success this year. And sure, it fits into the Rangers' plans for the future.
Gets his man, retires Mark Ellis, and now to the bottom of the 6th, 4-0 Athletics. Time for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Jackpot worth $1,000. Plus tickets to a Ranger game, dinner for 2 at Sonic as well. Rangers hitting for David Kelly from Farmers Branch, and if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. Boy, that would be just what the doctor ordered. A little grand slammage, tie this game.
Grand slammage, I like that.
Did I patent it?
Yeah.
Put it on a T-shirt?
I like that.
First, you got to get some base runners. The Rangers have found those very difficult to come by. They had a couple of them back-to-back to start the 2nd inning. And that's it.
12 straight retired by Trevor Cahill. Got that sinker ball working nicely tonight. Throwing a lot of pitches belt high or a little bit above that inside and jamming left-hand hitters and right-hand hitters. Not many balls hit on the good part of the bat today at all for the Rangers. One of the few was the pop-up to center field that Ian hit. I think he hit that on the good part of the bat. Other than that, I don't think there's been any.
One run scored for the Rangers now in their last 33, going on 34 innings. And maybe when it rains, it will pour. That's got to be the hope now that it's 4-0. When it was 1-0, you're thinking, all right, just get somebody on. get him around and in, and you're even Steven again and go from there. But now you need a clump of runs. Boy, and Cahill has just got him fooled tonight.
He got a lot of movement on his fastball, darting all over the place. It's gotten the Rangers to swing at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. 3 straight strikeouts for Cahill. See the movement on that pitch. Nice changeup.
Borbon had that stretch of power just about a week ago, blasting away with home runs. This little bloop that does not find any safe harbor. 14 straight retired by the 22-year-old Trevor Cahill. Now face the 21-year-old Elvis Andrus. Wow. Whatever's going on, the Rangers need to get rid of it. 4-0 Oakland at the end of 6. You buy Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And by Jack Daniels. Your friends at Jack Daniels remind you to drink responsibly. Rangers trying to make that last push to get into the postseason. It's been such a wonderful year, but the Rangers just hitting a tough stretch right now. They've got 1 run scored in 34 innings. And that coincides with taking on an Oakland team that's really hitting the ball well. They still control their so-called destiny a little because they have all those games still against the Angels. The Angels are losing tonight, 5-3 in the 7th inning in Boston. And I guess that officially becomes a tipping point tonight, right, Tag? If the Rangers don't rally and win this one, and if that game stays the way it is at Fenway, the Rangers would actually be closer to the Angels to the Red Sox anyway, and have all those games left against the Angels.
That's right.
Because we've been kind of tossing it back and forth. The fans have as well. Who do we root for? Or who do we root against? Red Sox or Angels?
Well, it was tough to pick a couple of weeks ago, but I think it is getting a little bit clearer right now what has to happen. But it really, as we've already said, it becomes a moot point if the Rangers don't play better than they're playing now.
There's a base hit to left for Derek Barton. He has figured something out over the last few weeks. This is a guy that's had a lot of different trials with the Oakland A's. Usually ends up hitting around 220, 225. But the last 3 weeks, he's hitting about 400.
He's still a young kid, and the A's thought a lot of him when they acquired him from the Cardinals. Felt that he could become an outstanding hitter. One thing that they love about him is he's a kid that'll take a walk. And if he does figure it out, he'll be a high on base percentage guy. There's still a lot of growing for him to do, but a lot of time to do it as well.
Strike to Cliff Pennington. And another one. You know, just outside of Oakland, San Jose, California, and that's where our buddy Steve Buechele is tonight. He's in his first year managing that Bakersfield team, the Rangers single-A affiliate in the Cal League. And they've got a best-of-5 final going tonight. Game 5 to decide it all in the semis. San Jose against Bakersfield, and we want to wish Steve Buechele and his group all good things tonight. Pennington pops out.
And if they win tonight, they have to go somewhere after the game and play tomorrow. I think there's no off days in the minor leagues for playoffs.
We had a 6 RBI game from Ian Gack yesterday to force Game 5 tonight.
Have you noticed what Justin Smoke has been doing in the World Baseball Tournament that's going on right now?
Yeah, they've been giving us some dispatches about that, and
like 6 home runs in the first 5 games.
Pretty phenomenal, and that's obviously an embarrassment of riches kind of position for the Rangers now. First base with Justin Smoke coming on, Chris Davis. Of course, Blaylock has played there a lot this year. But that, that Baseball World Cup being played in Italy. And yesterday against Japan, another home run for Smoke. He's got 6 home runs now. Team USA has hit 16 overall. Smoke has got 6 of them. Up too high to Patterson. Oakland with 1 in the first, but then 3 in the 6th. And a ball that just barely got beyond Marlon Byrd was kind of the catalyst in that one. And again, it was, Rajay Davis been right in the middle of everything when the Rangers play the A's this year. Rajay, we are told, is Sanskrit for king, and that's about right, the way it's been going down against the Rangers.
Now, at the beginning of the year, you could see the young pitching that the A's had, both in the rotation and in the bullpen, but you're kind of wondering where their offensive players were going to be coming from over the next few years. But as the season has gone on and as September is here, you start to see some glimpses of what might work out well for him. Davis has come on strong. Derek Barton's come on strong. Cliff Pennington at shortstop has played really well. Suzuki's a young player, so it's looking a little better for them right now.
Triple header football action tag. It's Saturday. It's presented by Phillips HD. Tulsa against Oklahoma. Then Cincinnati and Oregon State, Kansas State, and UCLA. It all starts at 2 with Big 12 Live kickoff show. Keeps on cranking until 12:45 a.m. with Big 12 Live. That's a long day of football. Of course, the Rangers play that evening. That'll be over on My 27 on Saturday, a 6:05 game against the Halos. Kennedy with a foul into the crowd.
Ryan Sweeney's another young player that has come on. Worked his way into the third spot in the lineup. Is playing pretty well right now. Well, they have some possibilities that make it look a lot better now than it did maybe earlier in the year. A young closer, a rookie closer. He's had a big season, made the All-Star team. As we mentioned, 2 young 21-year-old starters.
Great jump. And the throw down is not in time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It wasn't in time, but it overslid the bag, it looked like.
That works too.
That works just as well.
Mark Carlson, the second base umpire, followed it all the way through. We'll let you watch it as we go to break. Derek Martin is safe, and then he is out. Up to speed with the AT Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T is your world delivered. There's your game summary. David Murphy at the plate, down a couple of strikes here. The Rangers have not advanced a runner past second base in this game. They had really only one shot to do that anyway. They had back-to-back base runners to start the second inning. Cruz bunted for an out. Davis struck out. Teagarden struck out. That was the only scoring threat inning for the Rangers tonight. It's a one-hitter for Trevor Cahill. And frankly, Tag, the Rangers kind of fortunate to get that hit. It was a little bloop off the bat of Marlon Byrd.
Yeah, they just did not hit the ball on the good part of the bat all night long.
No, and it's everybody.
There has not been one hard hit ball. Hasn't been a tough defensive play for the A's to make.
Red Sox still lead the Angels, though, 5-3 in the seventh.
And if you just look at Cahill's overall numbers, you'd say, man, it doesn't look that great. A losing record, 4.74 ERA. But he's thrown a lot of good games this year. He's only 21 years old, but his last 6 starts have been really good. He's had a good start against the Rangers, too, back in May. 7 innings, 1 run. No walks in that game. He's got a good idea how to pitch for a 21-year-old. Doesn't need to throw many breaking balls because his sinker is such an effective pitch for him. It's such good movement on it, he throws it one right after the other. Although he has mixed in some sliders and some changeups.
Willie Ayer and C.J. Wilson warm in the Ranger bullpen. And normally, especially in the the heat of a race. You have a whole crowd up doing the bird right now for Marlon Byrd, but again, there's just not a lot of energy right now. I don't mean to be making excuses for anything or anybody, Tag, but I think the whole thing with the weather this whole weekend has just kind of cast a pall on this homestand. You saw that update there. The Angels have jumped back on top of Boston. And you're seeing the Rangers getting just carved up by Trevor Cahill.
See the movement on that changeup. You have to like the future for Brett Anderson, Trevor Cahill. The Rangers have the same thing going on with a lot of good young pitching too. And you look, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, if a lot of players stay with their same team, you see a lot of these same pitchers pitching against each other year after year after year. These are good battles, good pitching duels.
Yep, 19 games a year, right, between the Rangers and the A's. And, I mean, we were talking about that with Felix Hernandez when the Rangers saw that really well-pitched game from him the other night. They're getting used to seeing 4, 5, 6 of those a year. Mariners, by the way, not quite yet underway against the Chicago White Sox tonight. Yeah, the Angels volleying back on top of Boston, 6-5 in the 7th. Kinsler draws a walk, and that is the first Ranger base runner since Kinsler walked in the 2nd. 17 straight had been set down. And of those 17 outs, the Rangers had 3 balls leave the infield. Wait, put one guy on base over a stretch of 18 batters to get the pitching coach to come out. Angels taking the lead in that game, by the way, Tag, on a Juan Rivera 2 RBI double. Craig Breslow, who pitched yesterday, warming in the Oakland pen. Well, as long as we're talking about the Angels, the Rangers are going to have to be kind of a collective Kendry Morales here, where, that's a guy that had all kinds of fits and starts just trying to get out of his home country. What's the story? 12 times he was counted out trying to leave Cuba. The 13th time he finally succeeded. Rangers, there have probably been 12 or 13 times this year where it didn't look good. They have to find a way to really succeed now in their final try. That's going to be this weekend against the Angels. As bleak as this week has been, everything turns back around if the Rangers can sweep the Halos. Well, let's face it, this has been a lost series against the Oakland A's. Getting one hit by Trevor Cahill tonight. 4-0 Athletics. We will play the 8th. 8th inning now. And the Rangers in danger of a 1-5 homestand. C.J. Wilson trying to keep the A's to this total of 4. Give the Rangers a shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. The one Ranger hit was a Marlon Byrd single back in the 2nd. And since then, it has been 18 out of 19 set down by young Trevor Cahill. Cahill from Southern California. So is C.J. Wilson. Remember, he started out with the Rangers getting a chance to be a starter. This out of the bullpen thing has worked out real well. CJ scouted and signed originally by former big league pitcher Tim Fortuno, who's got quite a resume. He's a guy that allowed George Brett's 3,000th big league hit and then promptly picked him off. How can you do a guy like that? Two-one pitch to Adam Kennedy. We'll miss outside. Another SoCal guy, Adam Kennedy.
Didn't look outside.
I know. I see what you're seeing. Kerwin Danley, the home plate umpire. That's definitely a strike. 3-2. In the left, a base hit. Kennedy. 8 times on base in this series. Rajai Davis comes up. He's been on base 7 times in the last 2 games. And on base 11 times overall in the series. The A's with a chance to get to 9-6 against the Rangers in 2009. Thankfully, because the Rangers are 9-3 against the Angels, they are still alive in that AL West. That's the kind of intensity we're looking for right there from the X-Men. The rally Hugh Jackman. This game was started by Dustin Nippert tonight, and again for 5 innings he looked real good. A 2-hitter through 5 innings, just the 1 run allowed. But then a tough 6th, including the home run by Landon Powell. Vizquel, look how quickly he gets rid of that. Fielder's choice. Although there's Davis reaching again, though.
And for him, that is a routine play, a barehanded play like that. He just does it that way because he can do it a little quicker.
That's something he has practiced year in, year out. Sweeney buckled back. Again, tomorrow it's an off day, and then when the Rangers and Angels get it cranked up on Friday, Tommy Hunter will be on the mound. And the Houston native Scott Kazmir, the former Tampa Bay Ray, going for the Angels. Saturday, boy, what a matchup Saturday. Feldman and Jared Weaver. That's the guy with the most wins for the Angels against the guy with the most wins for the Rangers. Similar builds. A couple of strike throwers. That is a 6:05 game Saturday night. And we may, Tag, have seen the last of Trevor Cahill. They've got action going in their bullpen in a 4-0 game.
Yeah, his pitch count was in the 90s. And as a 21-year-old, I'm sure they're keeping track of his September starts. The A's have gone to a 6-man rotation to kind of spread the starts out a little bit more in September. And he's going to end up with somewhere around 165 to 175 innings. In the minor leagues, he had nowhere near that. And as a really young pitcher, I don't think they want him to throw 115 or 120 pitches. It makes no difference whether he gets a complete game in a game like this, as well as he's pitching. He's done an excellent job tonight. But they've got many years down the road, and they don't want to do anything to overextend him in such a young season.
Boy, it's nice to see Davis running that way instead of making left turns.
Saw where the Orioles told Brian Mattis that he was not going to start any more games.
Yep.
They felt he reached his limit. Rick Porcello is a young pitcher for the Tigers, and they're in a race. They can't shut him down right now, so I'm sure they're monitoring his pitch count.
That's an interesting point. I mean, if the Rangers were, say, where the A's were right now, would a Tommy Hunter, would a Derek Holland, guys like that be getting slowed down, if not shut down?
Yeah, well, in Derek's case, I don't think he's reached the point where he's thrown that many innings. Really, he's around 110, 115 innings, somewhere around there. But I think you have to kind of keep an eye on that. There's much more risk to a 20, 21, 22-year-old pitcher throwing a lot of pitches and a lot of innings than there is for a 25, 26, 27-year-old pitcher. Just not as mature and strong as you will be later on in your 20s. And so Nolan is trying to get the pitchers to pitch deeper into games, throw a few more pitches, but be more efficient with your pitches. But still, with young pitchers, 19, 20, 21, you still have to keep an eye on them.
Nolan's son Reed in the house tonight, up from Round Rock. Chop ball left side, base hit, a long at bat. Culminates in a single. Rajai Davis, wide turn, baiting the throw to second. Quick tag, he's safe. Boy, he's been a daredevil on the bases in this series, and he's been winning every time.
Well, when you've got speed, you can do that. And in that particular case, I think what David could do the next time is when you get the guy trapped and he's got that kind of speed, from that distance, if you throw to one base or the other, he's going to go to the base you don't throw to. But if you run right at him with a ball, you get closer, you force him to make his move, and then you throw. Davis, I think, actually got caught out in the middle here.
Yeah.
Now he's dead, waiting to see where he throws, and as soon as he threw to second, he just kept right on going.
Oh, you're still a ground ball away from maybe getting out of the inning here. Infield, a double play depth, 4-0 A's. One run for the Rangers in their last 35 innings. Still 7-5 Angels, by the way, over the Red Sox at the end of 7 now at Fenway. There's a pop-up. Andrews for out number 2. And once again, Rajai Davis, because nobody's covering at third right now.
And that's a smart thing to do with the ball. Run in. Don't make a long throw. The longer the throw, the longer it's in the air. You can't get anybody out while the ball's in the air. And you've got a daring runner with a lot of speed. The shorter the throws, the better it is. You can't really run if you're walking toward him. And if he does, then then you know where to throw it.
Landon Powell, a switch hitting backup catcher, has already launched one up on Green Hill tonight. It's jammed here. Blue Jays have just overtaken the Yankees 4-2. That game's in the 8th, and the Tigers have beaten the Royals 4-3. Rallying to get that done. Staying on top of Minnesota by 4.5 in the Central.
Tigers have had some pretty nice comebacks in the last few days. The big comeback, Aubrey Huff hit a big home run to tie a game.
Yep.
You watch that one like Barry Bonds used to watch him. I think Aubrey's feeling pretty good to be in a pennant race.
The team he left behind, the Orioles, they got a 2-1 lead tonight in the 8th, but that game's in a rain delay now.
There's some stat on Aubrey Huff. I can't remember what it is, but the teams that he's played on have been as far out of first place total as any player in the same amount of time, something like that.
He's been kind of the modern day Buddy Bell.
Yes.
Great player, just kind of stuck on some teams
Played
that
on
don't
some
win.
bad teams. So I got to think he loved that trade to Detroit. Texas kid, giving him a chance to play in a pennant race.
Yep, grew up in Mineral Wells, not too far from here. But it's now a 24-pitch inning for CJ.
Well, could have been over with that call.
Pitch Tracker brought to you by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. That will finish him off.
He should have been out on the one before.
I agree.
Don't argue on that.
Tell it, brother. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's 4-0 A's. On Fox Sports Southwest is being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. Okay, here we go. Bottom of the 8th, and it's time to get serious here. It is Davis, Teagarden, and Vizquel scheduled. Michael Wirtz takes over on the mound. Maybe a change of pitchers will lead to a change of dynamics here tonight. Rangers came up all but completely empty, bone dry, against Trevor Cahill, a one-hitter.
Yeah, it was a terrific game for Trevor Cahill. He had an outstanding sinker, mixed in enough sliders and enough changeups that the Rangers just couldn't look sinker all the way. But I think even if they could, they still weren't going to have a lot of success with it because he had excellent location, kept the ball in to both sides of the plate, left-hand hitters or right-hand hitters, and with the movement, there really wasn't a hard hit ball for 7 innings. That's a credit to Cahill. Did a beautiful job tonight. But it doesn't get that much easier with Michael Wirtz. Struck out 89 batters in 70 innings. Got a good slider, sneaky fastball. Done a great job for the A's out of the bullpen.
Well, Cahill certainly a lot better than, as you say, Tom, the numbers would indicate, better than he's been the last few starts that he's been given.
And his last 3 starts, his ERA is down somewhere around 3. A little tough go for about a month and a half in the middle of the season, but he's corrected that.
Well, they go from better to worse, and so far that has not shaken their foundation at all. The strikeout of Davis.
Now, Cahill's high strikeout totals, there's 2 of them tonight. 7, that was his high of the year. His second high was 6, and that was against the Rangers in his last start against them. He hasn't been a big strikeout guy this year as a rookie. Those strikeout totals will probably increase as he gets more experience. But it was pretty evident today, 7 strikeouts in 7 innings, that he had a strikeout pitch.
Esteban Herman instead of Taylor Teagarden. So we'll either see Pudge or Kevin Richardson as the Ranger catcher the rest of the way tonight. We were talking about Herman earlier, had that 5-hit game in Cleveland. Getting contributions from him, from Pudge. Names that were not on the Ranger radar a few weeks ago, but guys that have certainly contributed. Herman came up with the A's organization, had some really solid years in their minor league system. We were talking the other day about an 82 stolen base season that he had in A-ball. That is a bunch of bags. Fouls it off of Landon Powell. Well, the Yankees have come back and tied the Blue Jays now on a home run from Hideki Matsui. 4-4 in the 8th. Again, those teams brawled yesterday. White Sox and Mariners underway, no score. Twins beat the Indians this afternoon. Herman went too far. A lot of strikeouts for Oakland pitching tonight. How many did Cahill end up with? Do you have
7.
So that's a season high for Cahill, those 7. His second place in that department would also be the start he had against the Rangers about a month ago when he had 6. And a couple of walks to Kinsler, I guess, is the only thing to match up against the 7 strikeouts, and the 1 hit by Bird. Wirtz pours one into Vizquel. You can hear the fans kind of trying to muster something here. A little chant, a little "Let's go Rangers," a little "Come on, guys." That's always a tough thing, though, when you're trying to summon energy. So much better, obviously, when the energy kind of finds you. Omar sends it towards that Ranger dugout. This is game number 145 of the season. And the Rangers have only had this many wins through 144 games, a couple times in their history. Those are 2 years that they went to the playoffs. The first time in the most recent time, 96 and 99. On the ground is short. So it stays a one-hitter for the Oakland A's. Cahill and Wertz combining on that. We will go to the ninth. And it's still 4-0. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. And by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Some changes for the Rangers as we go to the ninth. They are being one hit tonight. And it's just not happening right now. Esteban Herman stays in the game at third. An all-new Ranger battery now, too. Frankie Francisco takes over on the mound, getting into his 45th game of the year. Only 12 walks in those 44 games. The new catcher is Kevin Richardson. They jogged in from the bullpen together. Mark Ellis takes inside. This is a game that Dustin Nippert started tonight. And they had a one-hitter through 4. That after a one-hitter through 5 the last time he faced the A's.
You know, Taylor coming out of the game would make you think that there might have been something wrong, because he hasn't been catching a lot with Pudge doing so much of the catching, and getting a chance to catch tonight. You wouldn't think that Ron would pinch hit for him in that kind of a game unless there was something wrong with him. We'll see if we can find out if there was anything, or if that was just a decision to get an at-bat for Herman and give Kevin a chance to catch.
Into the crowd it goes off the bat of Mark Ellis. Ellis out of the University of Florida. Like David Eckstein, Brad Wilkerson, who used to play for the Rangers, of course. High fly ball. And it is Elvis Andrus. He's got it. Angels still lead the Red Sox 7-5. And looking for more in the top of the 8th. They've got the bases loaded. The Angels with a 6-game lead on the Rangers right now. And don't forget the 3-game Get Your Red On series coming up this weekend. 972 Rangers to get your tickets, or go to TexasRangers.com. Tommy Hunter against Scott Kazmir Friday. The Rangers indeed in a position where 2 out of 3 might not be good enough. 1 out of 3 would definitely not be good enough. You're looking for that sweep. Strike to Derek Martin. And a crowd of 23,000 plus here tonight. On kind of a misty, dreary Wednesday night. Big plans for the off-day, Tag?
My daughter is coming into town, as a matter of fact, with my grandson.
Beautiful.
So I'll be spending some time with them. Provided they want to go to the driving range.
You're a good grandpa.
Just kidding. Just kidding. For everybody that's going, what a jerk.
We'll get you out of that pickle by going down and checking in here with Emily Jones.
Well, Tom, just for the record, I don't think a day at the driving range is that way to spend it. Bad way to spend
Thank
it
you,
all day.
Thank you.
We've got a lot coming up on Rangers Live immediately following this one. Steve Busby and I will be here to break it down from top to bottom. Hopefully, we'll be talking about a come-from-behind victory in the bottom of the 9th, gentlemen.
I would love nothing more. Thank you, Em. Sounds like the wind is whipping around down there, too. Cliff Pennington, one of the many A's who has had a strong series. Off-speed pitch off the plate. A 4-0 game. Again, the Rangers with just a 1 hit from Marlon Byrd in the second. There's that split from Frankie Francisco. It's a fun pitch when it's working for him.
A lot of fun for Frankie. Not much fun for the hitter, though. He doesn't like that.
That ball skipping up the middle. Frankie tried to get the fastball in there.
He fooled him on the off-speed pitch. Figured he might be able to sneak that fastball by, but Pennington was ready for it and hit it pretty well. Pennington came into the game hitting .288. And threw number 4 right down the center.
Now Eric Patterson, the brother of Corey Patterson. We used to see him with the Orioles and the Cubs. By the way, the Cubs are on the home schedule for next year. They'll come to the ballpark in May. Runner goes.
Big jump.
Yep, and Kevin Richardson's throw is way too late.
No chance for Kevin on that one.
Well, the A's have been real aggressive. I mean, they're up 4-0 here. We've seen Davis running yesterday when they led 6-1 late. Here's Pennington stealing the base at 4-0 in the 9th tonight.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. 6-1. I think that's kind of on the borderline where you might feel like the other team's rubbing it in. But they've got a young team, young players trying to be impressive in September, and so I don't have a problem with that. Now, if it's 10-0 or something like that, then it's a little bit different. But the way runs are scored in today's game, I think most managers feel comfortable if the other team's running under those circumstances. I don't think you feel like they're rubbing it in.
Well, the A's on the verge of their first sweep of the Rangers here in 6 years. The Rangers will have the top of the order up in the bottom of the 9th. Andrew Bailey, even though it's not a save situation, is one of the guys that's up. They use their closer, and they have really used him a lot. Used him yesterday to close it out at 6-1. Patterson taken care of. Rangers coming up in the bottom of the ninth, needing 4 to tie. From country music recording artist on the North Lawn after the noon Rangers-Angels game on Sunday. For tickets, go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Don't forget to wear your red. The Rangers Red Out weekend. Rain's starting to come down pretty good right now, and the Rangers need to hustle up and get some runs. Andrew Bailey trying to preserve a one-hitter here, and Tag, this will be the third one-hitter that the Rangers have had to suffer through this season. Dontrell Willis, Chad Godin, and Trevor Cahill would be the 3 guys that started those 3 games. And in a year where the Rangers have faced the likes of Matt Cain and Felix Hernandez and Zach Greinke, no offense to the 3 guys we just mentioned, but it's kind of a motley group to have the 3 one-hitters.
Well, I read a stat that the A's had not had 2 games back-to-back where they'd only given up 1 run to the Rangers since 1992. Now you can add 1. Not sure whether the Rangers will score here in the 9th, but if they don't, 1 run in 3 games.
And going back to that Felix Hernandez game, the Rangers now
1 run in 4 games.
Yeah. And again, as we've been saying, just exactly at the wrong time. They've got 1 run scored in their last 42 innings. And thank goodness for the David Murphy home run. Otherwise, we'd be talking about some Ranger history. Bourbon will pop it into the crowd. That one hit came from Marlon Byrd to lead off the second back when it was a 1-0 game. The Rangers actually had 2 on and nobody out in the second inning, trailing 1-0. But then a Nelly Cruz bunt that didn't work and 2 strikeouts. And that was that for the second inning. Here's Bourbon down on strikes. Elvis Andrus to the plate. He's in our Coors Light freeze cam tonight as he never gave up on this play. Watch Derek Barton go sailing by, and Elvis tags him out. And in a weird way, that kind of sums it up. I mean, that's kind of the best thing that's happened for the Rangers all night. Outside corner here to Elvis Andrus. I'm a little surprised that Bob Guerin keeps running Andrew Bailey out there in games like 6-1 and 4-0. They've gotten a great year out of him. There's a line drive to second. Out number 2. Well, in the rain and against an Oakland team that has a dozen games under 500. And the Rangers just kind of sloshing through it tonight.
Josh, before the last out, we want to say thanks and wish the best to Toast and Mookie, their last game they're going to be doing of the year for us. Thanks, guys, for everything.
Well, glad you got that in. That was a quick 9th inning. Indeed, fellas, thank you. The Rangers tonight were held to that one bloop hit by Marlon Byrd. It was way back in the 2nd inning. And again, the weather just serves as a metaphor. 2 hours, 22 minutes. A 4-0 win for the A's. We're getting set to get you down to Rangers Live. Emily and Buzz are standing by. Again, the final, Oakland 4 and Texas 0.